everybody. This is Green Bean coming at you with another late night vlog. This one just so happens to be right on the heels of the Thursday night football game with the New York Jets versus the Indianapolis Colts. Before we get going, I want to remind you about the contest we're having right here. All you need to do to be entered is sub to this very channel and to Full-Time Coaster Tour on YouTube, and you are in the contest. You can win a t-shirt of your choice from the GreenBeanjetsfan.com merch store, or even a ultra smooth pack from Manscaped. That all said, guys, tough one. A lot of us thought we had a real chance to win this game, myself included. I knew it would be tough. In truth, I think they are a better team. They are ahead of us on building a roster full of NFL players. But that said, we still had a chance to win today. And here's what we're looking at. The defense didn't wake up till way later in the game, and even when they did wake up, they didn't exactly play hard. C.J. Mosley looked off tonight, as did Jared Davis. Quinnen Williams looked sluggish at times. I could actually see it. I could see they looked slower. They looked disengaged to a degree. C.J. Mosley got juked out of his shoes a couple times, which is not really what we're used to seeing. So I don't know what happened with the defense. I'll deconstruct it a little bit more later when I rewatch the game. I did rewatch the first quarter a little bit because, you know what? I'm looking for some positives. Now, here's what I got for you. It was a tough loss, and for much of the game, it really did feel like we were just going to get blown out 54-13 kind of a thing. That's what it felt like. But here's a positive wrapped with a negative. Mike White came out, was 7 for 11, 95 yards, and a beautiful touchdown to Elijah Moore. And then he gets hurt, man. So Mike White looked like he was going to come in and be able to at least be a competent NFL quarterback for 2 weeks in a row, which would have been groovy, man. But unfortunately, he has a wrist injury and he was not able to come back into the game, which is just sad. I mean, the tweets and the texts and the comments I'm getting is, why aren't the Jets allowed to have nice things? And I get it. I feel the same way. It's incredible. Even on his first drive, which did end up as a punt, we got 2 firsts and we were close to another first. And that's the thing. It's like the first 5 games, we were unable to do anything in the first quarter. Up in 3, down in 3. That's what we saw. Punting 3 times in the first quarter kind of a thing. After going 3 and out and all that, we were able to put together what seemed like the beginnings of a nice drive. And Mike White really did look competent. You know, he didn't get that first on that drive, but the next drive they came back and ended up scoring a touchdown. And it looked good. It looked like Mike White just might be legit. And sadly, he has that wrist injury. I do not know how severe it is right now, but we'll find that out later too. But the interesting thing is, even though Mike White, the guy that we were all rallying behind, even though he got knocked out, and it took Josh Johnson, our third string quarterback, coming in, it took him a minute, and by a minute I mean an entire quarter and change, to get his feet underneath him. But guys, even after that, our offense was able to put up just about 500 yards of offense. Now, if I would have told you a couple of weeks ago, let's say right on the heels of the Patriots debacle, if I told you that, hey, just so you know, over the next 2 weeks, the Jets offense is going to have over 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns, how would you have felt? You would have been like, you know what, man, I'll take it. That would have been great. You would have not believed me. I wouldn't have believed me. But that's what ended up happening. Over the past 2 weeks, Mike LaFleur's offense has put up over 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns, and we didn't pull it out today. And, you know, look, some of it was at the end of the game. But, guys, if we scored on that last drive, even though the chance was slim, we had a chance to make that game tied up. We did. We had a chance. And I know it didn't happen. That last interception, which was the first interception of the day, which is another thing, we would have been able to score 37 points. And, you know, come on, if I would have told you, again, you were going to score 64 points, 1,000 yards, and 6 touchdowns, you would have been happy with that, right? I know I would have been happy with that, because a lot of us, what we're saying about this year is that we just want to compete. We want to see progression. We want to see growth. We want to see improvement. And we're seeing that. Now, our defense had problems today. We could not stop their Their read option offense, we couldn't really do much with that superior offensive line. They had us today. We got some pressure a little bit here and there, but overall their offensive line really took it to our defensive line. And that's one of those things, it's like that's a good upper echelon offensive line. We're not there yet. And that's the kind of stuff I'm okay with. I'm not okay with losing ever, but I am okay with where we are in our rebuild, being outmatched, being unable to make it happen against a team, especially positional group, that's just flat out better. We're not there yet. So even though I really think that a lot of the defensive schemes and all that really way off. Honestly, I don't think we have answers for a lot of things. Once our defensive line can't get home, I feel like we're kind of in trouble there. Even though I feel that way, and even though I feel like there were a few players that just weren't there, they seem to never arrive. Namely, our linebacking core. Outside of Quincy Williams, who was out of his mind on special teams today. It just seemed like we were off, right? Maybe the short week, I don't know. But our defense was really disappointing. But even while that's happening, you have to be happy with what we're seeing from Mike LaFleur's offense. Again, I don't like seeing Tyler Kroft out wide. He had a great catch, but he ended up getting hurt on it. Why? Because Tyler Kroft's not supposed to be leaping, full extension, landing on his back. It's not what he does. Now, he did it, but we paid the price. I don't know how long he's going to be hurt or whatever, but we ended up losing him for the game, and that's unfortunate because he was having an impact on the game. So there are some issues like that. I don't love every play call, but I can't gripe. I can't complain because the truth is over 1,000 yards of offense in 2 weeks, 6 touchdowns. We only had 1 pick today, and it was on that last goal line trying to get up to 37 points in the fourth quarter. That's when the interception happened. Now, I could argue that's the worst time for it to happen, and it was. It was really deflating. I wanted to score, get us to 37, and just have an opportunity to onside kick it. And let me tell you, people can say it was garbage time and all that, but I'm going to tell you right now, the Colts didn't want that game to be that close. They were trying to stop us. We ended up being able to put some drives together and score significantly more points than the Colts thought we were going to be able to do, especially after our first half performance. So guys, we lost Zach Wilson 2 weeks ago. Mike White, whom nobody believed in for the most part. Let's just shoot straight here. Nobody thought he was going to come in and do anything. We were all yelling and screaming about a vet quarterback. He came in and lit up the world, ended up putting his jersey in the Hall of Fame, one of the greatest first starts in NFL history, all that sort of stuff. He comes in, he's playing well again, he gets hurt. We got to go to a 14-year vet who shouldn't be on the field for all intents and purposes. He settles down and throws for 317 yards, 3 touchdowns, and the 1 interception. So there's a lot to be happy about. Elijah Moore had 7 receptions for 84 yards. Keelan Cole had some beautiful catches, 5 for 66. Elijah Moore also had 2 touchdowns, his first 2-touchdown game of his career. So there's a lot to really look at and be happy about, to sink your teeth into the positive side of this bone. There is stuff that we can take and hang our hat on and learn from. Again, very disappointing loss, especially because our defense, who for most of the season has really kept us in games, it would have been nice if they could have at least just played adequately while our offense was doing this today. Because, hey, man, when you score 30 points, you're supposed to win. Especially if we got that last touchdown and scored 37 and still lost 45. You scored 37 points. You're supposed to win the game. But it is what it is. So our defense was the fools this week, and our offense came out and was able to do something positive. The main positive, guys, is that we're having the opportunity to view and see Mike LaFleur's offense developing before our eyes. Again, I don't love a lot of things about it, and there are plenty of negatives, and I'll make a full video and we'll get into all that stuff. But this video is just to focus on the positives for a minute. And guys, we're able to see Mike LaFleur's offense and a lot of other players that, hey, we need to develop them too. Elijah Moore, Michael Carter, Ty Johnson, even Denzel Mims, who had an atrocious day. But we need to get these guys their playing time. And when you're going up and 3 down and 3 and out, 3 out of every 4 drives, that's no way to get to see anybody. So we're getting the opportunity to get these guys their playing time. We're getting the opportunity to see what the offense looks like, how it can respond. And guys, I gotta say, I am encouraged. I am. Tough loss. We'll talk more about it. Let me know if you saw any positives that I missed. I know a lot of people are disappointed. I get it. I'm disappointed too. But again, this season, this position where we are in our rebuild, we're trying to evaluate things. We're trying to see things. So there's a big batch of positives that I gave to you. 1,000 yards of offense in 2 weeks, man. 6 touchdowns in 2 weeks. 317 from our third string quarterback after 405 from our backup quarterback last week. Not so bad, guys. So let me know what you think in the comments. I look forward to chatting with you guys every video. I love it, as you guys know. Let me know what you're thinking. Try to enjoy the rest of the week as we go into the weekend here. And as always, go Jets.